You're now listening to Sound Talent Media. Check out more shows at soundtalentmedia.com.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
Hello, good people, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. This one is with my dude Steve Reis from Does It Doom. Yes, he's back on the podcast after 4 long years and many, many cool projects. So welcome back, Steve. I've got just a few notes and then we'll jump right into this episode. Firstly, if you're hearing this the week of New Year's, if it's still 2025 and you're listening to this, well, congratulations. You're a patron of the show, and I thank you so much for your assistance in keeping this thing going. It really means the world to me. I'm still getting to do this after a decade, over a decade at this point. This is crazy. So thank you so much for helping out with that. I really, truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And this early look at this episode is just another little bonus for Patreon subscribers. If you're hearing this in 2026, well, I thank you for your time too. I really appreciate you. It is also without you that I could not do this. Everybody that checks this show out, it really means the world. But this is the first episode in 2026. So welcome to the first regular episode of the year with my dude, Steve Reis. And don't worry, folks, there's also a lot more coming your way for 2026. So thank you all so much. I appreciate you. And without further ado, let's get into this episode with my dude, Steve. Here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Tone Mob Podcast, the show about guitar stuff occasionally, sometimes. I'm your host, Blake Weiland, and with me today, I have returning Steve Reis from Does It Doom. What's going on, dude?
What's up, Blake? Thanks, man. Thanks for having me back again here after 4 years.
Dude, I did the same thing you did. I was like, yeah, how long ago was this? I pulled up the old episode. It was like 4 years. That's why I feel like there's so much new stuff to talk about, because it's been 4 years. So
yeah, time flies, and it's certainly, like I said when we were getting started, it doesn't seem like 4 years, but 4 years has flown. So I'm really glad to be back here on the Tone Mob Podcast.
Yeah, well, you've been a busy dude in those 4 years, doing a lot of stuff, and that is what prompted me to want to have this conversation. Was because you've been doing so many things with the guitars. And that's primarily it. That's the main thing I want to get into. But like every time you're posting a new run or you're posting a new project or something, I'm like, wow, he's doing so many cool things. I wonder how that happened. And then the last time you got a sweet guitar that we're going to talk about, and I was like,
sure,
I really want to talk to him about that. Oh, I have a platform on which to do just that.
Yeah, perfect. Why don't we chat again?
Yep. So for the listeners, if you haven't heard Steve's first episode, on that, I know part of what we got into is his musical history and like how he got started like making content and his inspirations and all that stuff. So if you want to know more about that, go back to that episode. We're not going to necessarily rehash all of that. We're going to go forward from there. So since we last chatted, you've been doing a lot of stuff. And
yes.
I want to talk about how all that happened. So how did you get into having a guitar company?
Sure. So when the last episode, like I said, I went back and listened, and right at the end, we discussed the guitar company. We had just finished the first run of Woodwright Guitars. Yeah,
that sounds right.
It was like 60 units, 60 guitars, 2 finishes, Warlords, which is kind of the flagship model, the model we used to launch the brand. And since then, we've really grown out over 4 years. Again, cool to think just over 4 years, we built out an entire product line, with I think probably 6 or 7 guitar models themselves, and then a couple basses we just released this year. We did signature models. We've done signature models with Matt Pike of Sleepin' High on Fire. We've done a couple with him, a 9-string, which was based on his old First Act custom shop 9-string DC9 double cut, which became was the inspiration behind the Warlord shape. We also did a 6-string signature for him. we through Matt and just through my partner at the Woodbine Custom Shop, Shay. Shay had known Brent Hinds, rest in peace, for many years. Had built guitars for Brent and Bill and Mastodon, and kind of with Matt's help, we were able to bring Brent into the fold and do a signature Vagabond guitar for him, which was an incredible honor. Obviously, likewise with Matt. And then most recently this year, we worked with Jimmy Bauer of I Hate God and Down and Superjoint Ritual to do Jimmy's signature Sear guitar, which was just released a few months back, actually. And I just 2 nights ago was out at an I Hate God show watching Jimmy play it live. So that was pretty awesome as well. And the bassist in the band, Gary Mater, we got him a Warlord. It's not a signature, but a Warlord bass. And so it's just been really cool to build these awesome instruments. Like I said, I'm partnered with the Woodbine Custom Shop, which started in Vancouver, BC, Canada, probably around 2016, building, very small volume custom shop builds. And the goal was to take their product line and new designs and ideas and build them overseas so that we could offer them at a much more affordable price point. And we're building at PT Wildwood in Indonesia, where LTD builds. And I think Solar is built there. And so a lot of large brands come out of there. So it's a very well-known, well-respected shop, and we're able to offer just a very premium product, when it comes to the wood choices and just the build quality and the finishes, right down to electronics and tuners and hardware and everything. And, some models we're putting USA pickups. We've got a great relationship with the guys at Lace. And they've helped us put Matt's pickups and everything, and also outfitted our bases with Lace pickups. So really just been a lot of focus over the past few years on building out the guitar line, which has been tremendous amount of fun. And then also continuing to build out the pedal line. When we talked last, we probably had like 5 pedals or something, 4 or 5 pedals out, and now it's something like 11 or 12. So we've just continued working there with a great team of guys to just release new and innovative and fun circuits, a few new pedals a year, and it has been really fun. So a lot in those 4 years, no doubt.
What I really like about the things that you are doing, and I can relate to this, but I feel like you have went into this very kind of specific niche of doom, obviously, but like more general kind of just sludgier, heavier music that you love. And you've been able to carve out a space in this that's unlike anything else. I've never seen anybody go that hard into like this kind of music, and unless you were in actually like in a touring band, like make a living in the content space and the projects that you're doing. Like it seems like, because I even consider myself a little bit nichey. But I think you've been even more successful in maybe a smaller niche, which is kind of interesting. And I think it's really, really cool. Is this something you started with the idea of, or how did this all evolve?
Well, it's funny because sometimes people will ask me what other genres of metal I like or listen to, and there's really not much. The doom and stoner rock and sludge and drone genre that I focus on is really what I love and what I listen to most. I don't really listen to anything else. I don't listen to black metal or thrash or, really anything else. So it's just based on what I love and what I've always loved for at least since discovering it back around probably 2002 or something. It kind of became the genre of music that I spend the most time listening to, and all the bands, I love all the bands within the genre. And that's not to say I don't like, to be honest, when I listen to music outside the genre, it's usually more like classic rock or blues or Delta blues or something like that. I don't really
mentioned
venture
that last time.
into other spaces of metal so much. So it was natural for me, I guess, to dive in and go really deep instead of going wide. It's just really deep into a single genre because that's really the genre I love. And so I've spent a lot of time still learning and teaching songs, and really I've dialed back a bit on long form content on YouTube. I'm sure that's a whole other topic and discussion, but I've really focused more on short form content, stuff that I can produce quickly, stuff that I can still produce value with, and give people the lessons and transcriptions and songs and stuff that I always used to do. And then while still being able to do all of this other really cool stuff on the product development side. So I've got an incredible team of people that I work with on both sides, right? So it's definitely not all me. All the pedals are built here in the U.S., and we've got 6 or 7 guys, working on that constantly. And then on the guitar side, it really is just my partner and I, because it's just design. And although recently we've brought more of the other guys from the other companies into the fold to help with logistics and shipping and receiving and just customer service and things like that. So, yeah, it's just evolved naturally. It was never the goal. I never dreamed of owning a pedal company or even making pedal boards as we started, or a pedal company, and certainly never dreamed of being able to own my own guitar company. But it evolved into it, and I absolutely love it. I wouldn't want to do anything else. It's certainly made for, I think, my skill set and what I like to do and the kind of person I am. If I could choose being in a touring band or doing this, I would do this.
Yeah.
And that's sort of why it works for me.
Yeah, same thing here. Like, I never wanted to be in a touring band. I've said this till I'm blue in the face, and the listeners are probably tired of me saying it. But like, I knew that wasn't the life for me. I love that people do it, so I get to experience the shows that I go to. But I knew from, like, even as a teenager, I was like, no, dude, like, no way. Yeah. I'm not gonna live in a van like that. I'm not tough enough for that. I don't want to do that at all. Like, I was like, I'd rather go, turn wrenches and crawl under greasy equipment again than do that, which was its own kind of hard. But it's a different, it takes a different type of mindset. And most of the people I talk to on the show, they love it. They love doing that. And they kind of are like, what do you mean you don't want to do that? I'm like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I feel sometimes I disappoint people when I tell them that's not my aspiration, and I've never wanted to do that. But it's just my truth. I can't sugarcoat it or make or make something up or lie about it. It's just not my nature to want to be away from home. And I did have a job for many years, from probably 2005 to 2012 or something, where I was away from home every single weekend traveling, and I grew to very much dislike doing that.
Yes.
I very much know that the touring life would not be a life for me. I certainly love it, appreciate it, like you said, and respect all the guys deeply who do that, considering I traveled a lot in very cush travel arrangements in comparison. But it's just, I love sitting back here and making videos and working on gear and designing and developing and testing and tuning. And it's just, I'm an engineer by trade, mechanical engineer. And so a lot of that plays to those strengths of mine, but I also have an artistic side as well. And so I feel like they blend together well, and just lets me kind of focus in on the things I like to do. More as time has gone on, I focus more on just doing the things I like to do and putting them out into the world and hoping others will like them as well.
Yep. So going back a little ways, I do want to talk about this. So you say you've pulled back from the longer form stuff, which I have noticed.
Yes.
But your short form is seemingly a never-ending river that keeps flowing forth forever and ever.
Sure.
So what is it about the long form that is it just, it doesn't fit in with the way business is going these days? Is there some benefit that you're seeing to spending more time on short form, or is it just kind of just happened?
Well, I think over time you recognize that content volume is a huge part of the piece of the puzzle to being successful and growing. And I feel like with long form content, for me, it takes a long time to produce, just to find the space to record, to rehearse for the video, prepare for the video, shoot the video, and then I have a cost associated with having the video edited, because I don't have the time to do it myself, to edit 2 hours of footage down to a 10-minute video. And then if you do that, and you have to compete on YouTube, which is harder and harder, and I've seen people complain about it, but it's true. You have to kind of come up with these clickbaity hooks and titles and thumbnails and trying to get people just to click your video, and then to be fast paced enough to watch, to get the retention and watch time, keep people interested. I just found that the juice almost wasn't worth the squeeze, and you're putting in all this effort. It could take a week to get it all together, or I can just set up my stuff and play a song and then tab it out and put it out there for people to have, or run the tab on the screen, or make a short form video about me swapping pickups or pulling pickups out or doing a setup on a guitar or something. I've also focused kind of on just lowering the production value a bit and just, again, simplifying it, making it fun for me to make, and I think enjoyable for the viewer. With the onset of AI and everything, I think things have become very polished, so there's something relatable to just less polished content to a certain degree, at least in my head. So I continue to lean into that, and I don't necessarily see I'm not saying I'm not going to make long form videos anymore. I'm sure I will. I'm sure with some releases, or if we got a new pedal coming out and I feel like it really demands the attention for me to spend a couple weeks producing a long form video, then I will do it. Or just if I get some really cool piece of gear that I feel like warrants a long form. And I guess by warrants, just that could get people to watch. I was able to pick up this custom shop Tony Iommi signature SG from 1999 earlier this year. Made a trade for it, like my childhood dream guitar, a very rare guitar, one of 200. Never imagined I would own one, and just the stars aligned, and I made a trade for it. And well, of course, I made a video for that because it's a really cool piece, and I thought it would have a lot of interest versus me just teaching a song inside the doom genre, which is going to be fairly obscure and niche, and it's going to get 7,000 views. I can get 7,000 views in an hour on whatever short form I make and post that took me an hour to put together. So that's why I've gone that route.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because I have known for years, like, man, I need to do more on YouTube. And I would try to do videos that were not what I would normally do. I did one where I destroyed this Behringer pedal, which was fun, but like it took literally all day to shoot. And then I don't even know how long it took to edit. I don't even remember. I probably blacked that out. And it's not the best. Right? Yeah, it's not even that great. I mean, I shot most of it on my phone. It's not even like, oh, this is such a high production value thing that you did, right? It's not. It took me forever, and yeah, it's fine. It was a fun thing to do. I'm glad I did it, but I'm like, I got to do this every week. Yeah. That's not the best use of my skill set. For some people, It is the best use of their skill set. And for me, I'm like, what if you just kept doing the thing that you like to do and do more of that instead of spending time trying to reinvent the wheel on things that you're not sure about? Go with you like talking to people, just talk to more people. So then that's how I evolved into doing 3 shows a week now,
that's just smart. Just doing what you're good at and what you like to do. When people talk about burnout, I think it's because they're forcing themselves to do things that they don't like to do on a regular basis.
Yeah if you maybe you think you like to do it and then you find that you don't. I had to be real honest with myself, because I'd look at some of my friends who were very successful on YouTube, and I'm like, oh man, I could totally do that. And then I would do it, and I'm like, you can do it, but you don't like doing it. So so what's the point?
I think some people do genuinely like it.
They do. Yeah, a lot of people do. Yeah. Most of the people I'm referencing do like it. And when I talk to them, when we get together at NAMM or like at like Sweetwater or whatever, they all think I'm crazy. They're like, "Wow, you gonna? No, I don't want to do interviews." I literally sat with a table full of YouTubers, and they're all like, "Oh, I hate doing interviews." Like as far as being the interviewer, I'm like, "Oh no, that's the best part. That's the most fun." I'm like, "Well, I guess I need to stop trying to do the same thing that everybody else is doing and just
do your thing, right?
Do my thing, yeah. And I need to get them on YouTube more often. But
it's become interesting, and you see all these videos about people quitting YouTube and things like that coming up and popping up. It's just interesting to see.
It's kind of funny though. You see that, and almost always, I can't think of an exception to this, so there probably is. They always come back.
Yes, they do. Almost always. Yeah, I wonder if some that have said they were leaving, and sometimes people do just need a break. When I started the channel, I did do the 1 video a week thing, and I only had one kid at the time, and I had no other businesses, no pedal company, no guitar company, and I focused on making 1 video a week for a couple years.
You were still working as an engineer when you did that, right?
Yep.
That's gnarly.
And it was manageable, but it was very hard. Like I would start recording the videos at 9 at night and finish editing them at like 3 in the morning. You can't keep that up forever. So it's been fun. I'm trying to have fun with it and just do what I like. And if people like it, great. And if they don't, that's fine. They can just scroll the past up to the next video. It's like that people do anyways. It's like, what? Pay attention to yourself. or watch someone like scroll Instagram. It's just, I feel, do you find yourself watching long form content a lot on YouTube?
I am a weird millennial in that I use YouTube like an old person. Like some people will talk about how they get stuck in YouTube holes and they're like, oh, I was on this YouTube hole and I just this video and that video and that. I don't do that hardly ever. I can maybe count on one hand how many times that's actually happened to me. I go find the thing I'm looking for. I'm like, cool, found it. Fix my sink. And now I'm, now I'm out.
Same.
I don't get stuck I get stuck in social media rabbit holes, but not, and YouTube is kind of social media. Though it gets labeled differently for some reason. So I'll get stuck in Instagram holes sometimes, but it doesn't really happen to me. So I do watch long form stuff, but it's like, I sit down and watch a movie, and sometimes that movie happens to be on YouTube. I kind of can.
But it's something you looked for, right? That I don't find myself just going on YouTube to the long form section and finding something and just watching it. I spend most of my time in Instagram, like short form reels, TikToks, YouTube shorts, or even on Facebook in the reels section. That's where I spend most of my time consuming content these days. It's not going and watching a long form 16-minute gear demo or review or something like that. So I figure people are probably similar. People are spending a lot of time watching short form. That's for sure.
Well, and also the gear demo, I think, is still important, especially if there's something you're like really considering. But for guitar stuff in particular, we're so deep in it, you and I, and probably a lot of listeners too. Excuse me. I don't really need to watch the demos. I can kind of tell from the product release if it's something I really need to check out further or not. And once in a while, I'm like, oh, let's see what that sounds like. I'm talking like 30 seconds. Like, yeah, it sounds like, okay, yeah, I think I might order one of those. That seems cool. I don't need, I know what things are. Back when I didn't know what things were, I needed that longer form stuff to help understand it.
Same.
But now it's
probably
like,
true.
Oh, it's a modified deluxe reverb. It's probably going to sound pretty cool because it's a modified deluxe reverb.
Yeah. You're right.
It's going to be cool. So as my knowledge and my experience has grown, I don't really need the gear demos as much as I used to. But I recognize that's a little bit of a unique situation.
That may be true. I didn't think of it that way because I've thought of it the same. I just thought, well, a lot of this stuff's been done. It's getting stale. Like how many demos do I need to see of a Big Muff, or how many demos do I need to do of a Big Muff? I've been revisiting stuff. You kind of run out when you've demoed things forever and taught songs forever and things. You almost run out of things to do. Like I've revisited in short form, done a lot of songs that I taught in long form back in the day, and just made reels on them. But you're right. But I did, like, I bought a Fryette Power Station, and I did search up some demos on that and watch them in full, like long 16-minute demos, because it was an expensive purchase and I wasn't exactly familiar with what it did. And, that was helpful, but it's very specific. Go on and search the thing and watch the thing. And like you said, if I were repairing something in my house or something like that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
How exactly do artists get their music on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Tidal, all these services? How in the world do you get your music there? Well, in the past, you had to use something called a record label. But these days, you can use DistroKid. DistroKid is the absolute easiest way to get your music up on streaming services, and it's the most affordable way to do so. Not only do plans start at $22.99 for the entire year, that's less than $2 a month, DistroKid also does not take a cut of your streaming revenue, unlike some other services out there. Even better if you sign up by going to tonemob.com/distrokid. That's tonemob.com/distrokid. One more time, that's tonemob.com/distrokid. You'll get 30% off. That's right, 30% off their already extremely reasonable prices. So go to tonemob.com/distrokid and get your music out there. We are brought to you today by Sweetwater, specifically the Gear Exchange. You may have heard about this. This is a place where you can go to buy and sell your used gear. Maybe you got a pedal over there that's just kind of collecting dust. Maybe there's something you've been eyeing from the Sweetwater catalog. Well, right now is a great time to turn that unused gear into something you're actually going to use. Even better, if you sell on the Gear Exchange, you can keep 100% of the sale as long as you choose a Sweetwater gift card as your payout method. That is not too shabby because, let's be honest, most of this buying and selling we do is just to fund new gear purchases, and that is a great way to reach a wide variety of customers and keep 100% in your pocket, or rather on your pedal board. So go check out the Sweetwater Gear Exchange and turn that unused gear into something that's actually going to help you write that next huge riff.
I do still listen to a lot of podcasts. Like that's always been my thing. That's how I got into it in the first place, is because I enjoyed listening to them. I am also realizing, so many people, even some guys in my favorite bands have told me, like, oh, you need to put these on YouTube and I'll watch them. And I'm like, yeah, why? I get why, but I'm also like, that's not how I consume content, so it's a little confusing to me and always has been. Like, I don't need to watch us do this. I can listen to it while I'm doing other things, and I get the exact same amount of enjoyment out of it and get more stuff done. I don't need to sit there watch the talking heads, but people do like that. It's obviously one of the most popular forms of education and entertainment in the entire world. Yeah. So maybe I'm the weirdo, but I'm just like, I can listen to a podcast and I get the same benefits out of it most of the time. Unless they're like, here's a chart. Look at this chart.
Yeah, the chance of me actually watching a podcast are very low. The chances of me listening are much higher, because you're saying I could be at the gym, I'm listening to podcasts at the gym, I'm in my car, I'm listening to a podcast, but when I'm just at home, I'm probably not, and so, but you're right. I mean, and video form podcast clips obviously are one of the most virally watched pieces of content on the short form side of things, right?
Unless it's this show for some reason.
From all genre. I mean, you're in a niche genre, right? I mean, a lot of famous podcasts are comedians and entertainers and things. And I'm sorry, but I am not personally very entertaining. So
I disagree. You got thousands of people who would disagree with that. Come on.
Yeah, I've never thought of myself as entertaining, and that's probably another reason why I'm like, let's just make some short stuff. But to the point of where you said some people are very good, like some people are very good at entertaining, very polished at speaking, just better to watch, and I've never put myself in that category. Maybe others would disagree, but I still don't put myself in that category of just people who are entertaining and fun to watch and really good speakers and just really good thinkers and clever people. There are people like that I think are just more built for the production side of it, and you know what I mean, to be that talking head. So
I think I am good at getting people to talk. I've heard the same thing enough times. Like, I don't consider myself to like have all these great ideas or anything like that, but for some reason people get really comfortable with me, typically speaking.
Sure.
And I'll have people and I never thought about that at all, or even thought that it was a thing that mattered. But I've had enough people tell me after, they're like, oh man, this was so much easier than some of the other ones I've done. I'm like, why?
It's true though. I mean, you and I have talked a handful of times over the years, but we're sitting here together, and you definitely do make your guests feel like you're friends. You've known each other a while, a long time. It's definitely a unique skill.
Yeah, no, I never thought of it as a skill. I guess it's just a weird personality trait or something.
Sure.
In fact, I had a guy the other day, a family member saw me coming through a door or something. I don't remember. And by the time I walked up to him, he's like, I don't know why, but I see you and it just makes me laugh. And I'm like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm not really funny,
probably a good thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I'm not like a comedian. I've proved this to myself. I had a friend This is many years ago. He had his 30th birthday, and we were roasting him. And I had to like write a set to roast my friend in front of just my friends, just people I know. And that's the most nervous in front of people I've ever been.
Get
and
crickets or what?
I did terrible. I had prop humor. It wasn't funny. I know that I can be funny sometimes in conversation just off the cuff. I know that like I have a little of that in me. But man, writing stand-up, I don't have that. Just
That's
proved
hard.
it there. That was awful. And I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, I mean, all the great stand-ups talk about how long it takes to perfect a funny set and such. So it's not too crazy to think that you would bomb the first time trying it.
I
100% would bomb like the same way.
It was terrible.
And some people are just more naturally funny, right? They say funny all the time. Like, you know, those people you hang out with, and they're just funny to be around. They say funny stuff intentionally, constantly. Yeah, we've all got friends like that, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. Well, segueing a little bit, I want to talk about the Matt Pike guitar. Not necessarily the signature model, although that's cool too. Yeah. But the reason it triggered in my brain to want to have the conversation, let's talk about that Les Paul.
Yeah, that's a really cool guitar. You know, fortunately, obviously, growing up and really the impetus behind starting my channel was a lot of Matt's work. You know, when I got started on Does It Doom, it was teaching sleep guitar lessons, I think, when I really focused and said, okay, I'm going to do some guitar lessons, and they're going to be stoner doom metal focus, and I'm going to teach some sleep lessons because that's the biggest band in the genre that I think has no lessons for it on YouTube. And so that's how I started. I was taught, I think legitimately out of the gate, it was like 2 sleep lessons, then maybe 2 Electric Wizard lessons, and 2 High on Fire lessons. And so really the beginning of the channel, well, obviously we moved into doing signature guitars with Matt, signature pedals with Matt. And so now we're close friends, you know, and obviously business partners to a certain extent. I mean, Matt has a signature pedal with us, but he's very integral to the guitar company. You know, he's in with us. I know he's in for the long haul. We're very close. We talk all the time, and it just the opportunity came up he was looking to move a couple guitars, and I was fortunate to pick up a couple guitars from him. You know, it was like,
ooh, more than one.
Yeah, I've got a few actually. And he, with the Les Paul in particular, it's a 76 Les Paul Custom Natural, and it's totally piked out. He's got, if you look at, there's a Premier Guitar rig rundown with Sleep where he actually goes over that guitar. He's got a 76 Artisan Les Paul and a 76 Natural Les Paul Custom.
Oh, there'll be a long form video I watch.
Yeah, that's a cool one, right? I should do it. But it's cool. Like he's got the 3-volume 1-tone set up on the toggle switch, and it's got a set of Lawler DBs in the bridge in the middle, and then I think the original T-top in the neck. But the funny thing is I already had one of those guitars. Like I have a fully stock 77, which is one of my favorite Les Pauls. And so now I have 2 of them, and I'm actually trying to sell the 77 because I don't want to keep 2 of essentially the same guitar. And the 77 was expensive as well, and so was Matt's. So it's but it's a super cool guitar, and I have his 86 Les Paul Standard that he called the Nicotine Child. His original Cherry Les Paul he called the Riff Child, and he still has that guitar. I know he's told me many times he'll be buried with that guitar, but he got this 86 originally just white, and it's faded it's yellowed significantly over the years, and it's all beat. But that's got Lawler DBs in it as well, and that's the Nicotine Child SG, and then his 76 standard Les Paul or Les Paul Custom, which is just a badass axe. I mean, both of them are killer. I'm honored to own them, and they're very obviously 2 of the coolest pieces in my collection, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, there's something that. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go. Go ahead.
There's something that happened, and I always blame. My brain just failed. Adam Jones for this, because I have an 81 Custom that was like a dream guitar.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's a badass guitar.
Yeah, I love that thing. I didn't ever think I would get it. I told the story a bunch of times. People, I thought I wanted a white Les Paul Custom just aesthetically. I love Les Pauls, but I could never find one that I like really liked. I kept playing them and I'm like, I don't really like that one.
Yeah.
To the point where I thought maybe I don't actually like those guitars. Maybe I just like looking at them.
Yeah.
Which is weird as a Les Paul fan, but maybe that's what it was. And then I found this one, and it was a long time ago at this point, but I think I paid like $2,100 for it or something.
Nice. It's a custom, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
1981 custom, yellowed kind of similarly.
Yeah.
Not beat up though. It's actually in really good shape somehow. But I just love it. But they felt like not too long after that, these things were like $7,000.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did this happen? I'm glad I got in when I did. There's no way I'm gonna like do that at this point. And, now with all the kids and everything, like my days of that kind of money on guitars are probably behind me until they get out of the house.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Maybe,
and
we'll see.
I say that now. They did though for a long time. Nobody wanted anything from the 70s or 80s. Les Pauls or SGs. It seemed like to me, and at those times I was probably more focused on SGs. But 70s SGs, I mean, people couldn't give them away. Everybody wanted 60s stuff, early 60s.
That's why those guys were playing them, because they were cheap.
Right. Yeah. And you could have got a 72 standard for probably $800 or $900 or something, and now they're in the. People, I saw someone asking $4,000 for a 73, 74 SG standard, and I'm talking SGs. But yeah, they've obviously guys like Adam Jones playing that Les Paul and things like that have just you've got more legendary players, and even Matt playing these 70s Les Pauls, and the more players that play these 70s Les Pauls, the more desirable they inherently become. And so yeah, now these Les Paul customs are in the $5,000 to $8,000 range, depending on year and finish. And
Silverburst, get out of town. Those things are gonna be
I mean,
money.
even more, right? Maybe $10,000 for a yellowed out Silverburst or something like that. Which is fortunate because there's a lot of cool colors. Like the naturals are actually usually the least expensive.
Right.
But I think they're rad, and like I said, especially the one that I got that's all stock from 77. It's just so yellowed out. It's amber. I mean, it's a gorgeous guitar. They just don't even see them like that anymore. Maybe many years in smoky bars and things like that. That I've heard people talk about the yellowing of the nitro maybe not being as prevalent in years to come because you don't have the smoky bars and things like that anymore.
That's true. Yeah. No one's smoking in bars anymore. Really.
Yeah.
Everyone goes outside, which I can't say I'm complaining about necessarily.
No,
I'm
not either. My days of personally smoking in the bars are long over. So
long over. In fact, I think I'm in Oregon. I just missed the boat where you could even do that. I think I didn't turn 21 in quite time enough to be able to smoke indoors, but so it goes.
I did my share.
I'm not saying I didn't. I just wasn't supposed to.
Sure. Yeah.
Mom and Dad, don't listen to this.
Don't listen to that.
I was an angel.
I'm sure they believe you.
I think a lot of it is what you're saying, though, is like a lot of people were playing them, and they were playing them because they could afford them, and they just happened to like them a lot, and they weren't paying attention. Matt wasn't probably firing up TGP and being like, which year is the best? Oh, everyone hates these years. I better not get that one.
He was in Chicago Music Exchange and said, I want to try that one. This plays great. I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's how we should be. The gear forums can be great, and I learned a lot of stuff off of them, especially early on. But I also learned a lot of misinformation that was just conjecture and opinion and not
echo chamber stuff as well, right?
Not based on anything, right? So I was like, I don't want Norland era Gibsons. They're all bad.
Big echo chamber on that because that's what the internet said for a long time, and so it was like, I'm sure I said it myself,
and now
without knowing. And I've had some Norlands that suck.
Yeah, of course.
But I've had some earlier Gibsons that weren't that great either. I've had some mid '60s stuff that wasn't that great either.
Yeah.
So
it's more about the individual instrument at the end of the day.
Yeah. Some of the Les Pauls weigh a lot, right? Like I don't know what your Norland weighs, but I'm sure these two I got here are in the 11 to 12 pound range. I mean, they're not light Les Pauls. It's not like 9.2 pounds or something.
I got lucky. It's 9.8.
That's fantastic for an 81. The ones I got are pretty heavy, which doesn't bother me. I like my guitars to feel like heavy, like look like a piece of furniture.
Yeah,
so that's What I love about I'm honored to own those guitars that belong to Matt, and I've collected a few other guitars of guys I've got to know. I've got one of Jimmy Bauer's Sonexes, one of his Sonexes that he played in I Hate God. It was silver burst and it's all yellowed, so it looks like almost a gold burst, but it's got I Hate God stickers all over it and stuff. Really cool. I've got a bunch of Pete Adams First Act guitars from when he was in Baroness.
Oh yeah,
I've got his whole collection of First Act guitars actually that were built for him. So I've got into this kind of collecting some of these stage played pieces, and it's been really fun to own and play and maybe make videos about them and things like that. But yeah, I love that they're modified. Like Matt's are modded out with, like I said, the electronics are changed, the pickups are changed, stuff I would never do to my stock Les Paul Custom because it's entirely original. I'm not going to go start ripping pickups out and changing things and changing the wiring harness and things like that. Because I think there's something endearing about having an all original, 77 Les Paul Custom as well. But I do like that it's kind of got a more modern tone to it because it's got all their DBs in it and it has the wiring swapped and kind of is a more, like I said, just modern sounding Les Paul, that even though it's whatever, 50 years old at this point.
I kind of like old guitars that have stuff done to them in certain ways. Like, obviously it's cool to find something that's totally pristine and original, and that everybody drools over that because it's cool. But I have a thing for like player grade vintage stuff that's like, why did they do that? I don't know, but it's cool. Like, it's because somebody back in the day just got a wild hair. These guitars, I mean, you got to think of them kind of like cars, right? Like, people, when they got cars back in the day and modified them, they weren't like, oh no, I've destroyed the value of this. They're like, no, I've made it the thing I wanted it to be.
Right.
And for old guitars, I kind of like it has a story to it. And I also like them when they're kind of messed up. Like, I've got a 65 Melody Maker and a 70, I think it's a 74 Les Paul recording. And they both have these weird melted parts on the pick guard of the...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's like melted in a way. I'm like, what did you do?
What happened? Yeah.
And I'm like, I also kind of like not knowing, because it's just this weird... It's functionally fine, sonically totally fine, but it's like, why is it like that? I'm looking at the Melody Maker over my microphone right now, and I'm still like, why is the pick guard melted?
I feel like it's also interesting. Like, if I have a vintage guitar or an older guitar and I dinged it up. This is a weird thing, but something that has occurred to me. Like, if I dinged it in some way, if I dropped it and it got a big gash in it or something, because we all do that with our own guitars. It's like I view it as like I dropped it and that happened. But if you get a guitar and you just don't know the story, and it has a big gash somehow or a big ding, I think of it less, or it's just you don't know this. It's just part of the story of the instrument, and that's something that goes through my head, because whenever I look at a guitar that I know I smashed up somehow, I'm like, damn, I wish I didn't do that. But if I have an older vintage guitar and it's all beat up and I have no idea what happened, it's almost endearing to the instrument, and I don't know why that is, but I feel that way about it.
No, totally. I think it's probably because like my first Les Paul is a Les Paul Special, one of the faded ones that you got from Gibson or from Guitar Center in like, I don't know, 2003, I think is the year mine is.
Yeah, nice era.
And I love that thing. It's one of my best sounding and playing guitars even to this day. Yeah. But I put all of the wear on it. And looking at some of it, I'm like, oh, I remember that's because the strap fell off and I dropped it. Like, I remember when I had a particularly energetic practice session, and we were all sweaty in a garage somewhere, and I came away and I'm like, oh man, I really scratched that up. I wasn't paying attention to my picking. I was just
right.
And so I look at that thing, and at the time I felt stupid. I was like, oh man, I beat it up. And now I've kind of turned the corner on it. I'm like, the guitar of my youth. Look at all the silly things I did.
Yes, the years have gone. Yeah. That's cool. It's cool to have some from that, from when you were that age as well. I have my acoustic. My parents bought me when I was 16, and it's got stickers all over it, but I don't even get it out much because I don't play acoustic guitar, but everything else has turned over and been sold and bought, and, I don't have anything that's more than, that's belonged to me for more than, I don't even know. Like, when I traded for that Iommi signature guitar, I got rid of I had a 91 Les Paul Standard. That was my longest guitar in my collection, but it was a beauty. And that was the longest running guitar in my collection. I traded that. And I actually got to see the guy who ended up with it. Like, I traded it to a dealer, and then he sold it to someone else, a guitarist in Crystal Spiders, band from Raleigh, North Carolina. And an incredible guitarist came to our show in the summer at the Milestone. We put on this big kind of Doom festival with a bunch of bands here. I sponsor it, and they showed up, and he brought that guitar, and I didn't know he had it. And he showed me, and he just ripped it. It was really cool, actually. Really cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that, sorry, that's an aside, but it's a fun story about like an old guitar that was mine.
Hello there. I'd like to introduce you to your new best friend, the Chase Bliss Audio Lossy. Lossy is a collaboration between Chase Bliss and Goodhertz. And it's meant to give you some control over those weird digital artifacts that come with very compressed audio. You're hearing it right now. All the changes that are taking place are strictly coming from my playing dynamics. I'm just interacting with the pedal and letting it do its thing. In some true stereo goodness. If you'd like some more details about Lossy, I'd invite you to head over to chaseblintsaudio.com. I think you're gonna like what you find.
And but so now, like, I don't even know, like, my oldest guitar in my collection I probably had for 5 years or something like that.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. No, that's not true. That's not true. Probably 2010 is actually the one that I've had. 2010. I do have one from 2010. My original first act DC6 that I bought brand new, and is also beat up pretty good. And it's kind of the template for the Warlord, for a Woodwright series. So I will never sell that guitar ever.
Yeah,
that one's mine.
Yeah, see, you're all responsible. You're turning things over and stuff, and I'm just like, I know, I need to build a building out in my backyard.
That building's pretty cool.
And now I'm like, I'm running out of wall space. Better get a bunch of racks so I can hang them sideways like a guitar store. My dad already makes fun of me. He's like, I come in here and it's like a guitar store. I'm like, it's the worst guitar store in the world because nothing's for sale.
Yeah, I get to a point where I just have too much, and I start to feel like I just got too much. Like, if guitars in the closet, you just collect too much. And then, like, for me, like, literally, like, at least yours are on display. You can pull them out. Like, I started to have them, like, just stacked in a closet. And I'm like, I got to start clearing some stuff out here. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Guitars
It's definitely ridiculous.
Yes. Yeah. I think we both agree on that. But yeah, some people don't sell anything. I mean, some people really do keep it all. I usually try to tell myself and tell people, like, you can't keep them all. You can't keep them all.
Yeah, and I'm like, you can keep them all.
You can't play them all.
I can't play them all at the same time. That's true. Now, I've gotten rid of 2 guitars ever. The listeners know that.
Two.
Yeah, one I regret, one I don't. The one I don't regret is my Rickenbacker 360. I had a Rickenbacker 360. I got when a local store was closing. I got it on a ridiculous deal. And I loved looking at it. I thought it was beautiful. It was hanging behind me. It was visible in a lot of the videos and stuff. And every time I'd play it, I would go like, "This is pretty cool." And I'd put it back, and I wouldn't. It was one of those ones. None of the other guitars I have out here fit this category. I wouldn't play it for months. It would just be sitting there, and then I would be like, "Well, that's kind of dumb." At least all these other ones I play at least once a month, if not, much more frequently than that, depending on whatever mood I'm in. But that Rickenbacker was just sitting there, and the opportunity came along to trade for a vintage orange 212 vertical cab, with orange labeled greenbacks in it that were from 1968. Yeah. And I was like, well, this is a rare find. And it was pristine condition. Came with the cover and everything.
Oh, wow.
They were like, it was my buddy Hank at Hank's Music Exchange. He's like, I'll trade it to you for that Rickenbacker. I'm like, sold.
Done. And it wasn't even pre-bet. It was just a spur of the moment kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Did you even offer him, or he straight up offered you?
I asked him. I asked him if he would take any trades. He's like, I'm because he was looking at building up inventory for his store. So he got this. And he was still operating out of his basement. He's now at like 2 locations deep now, but he was operating out of his basement, and he was trying to build up inventory for his store. So he was looking for stuff, and he knew he could flip that Ricky, and he knew I'd love this. So I got that, and then I've been on the hunt for years for something to match it. I had a Rocker 30 sitting on it, like a modern one. That was totally fine. Great amp. Actually kind of underrated, I think, in Orange's lineup. Mm-hmm. But recently, same dude, he posted a 1978 OR80. And I was like, that's it.
What's the rating on the cab, though?
So the cab is less than what the amp can do. Yeah. But I use the Boss tube amp expander and knock it down a little bit.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Did you get it? Did you make it happen?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Oh, sick.
So it's nice. It's sitting right here, and I look over, and it's like all because of that Rickenbacker.
That's cool. That's cool. That's crazy. That's the I'm trading and buying and selling all the time. I mean, but more in than out. You know.
Do you have any that you regret, or do you feel pretty comfy with most of this?
No, there's some I regret for sure. Many years ago in 2011, I had a custom John Diggins, JD, the guy who builds Tony Iommi's Old Boy SG, or originally built it and still builds them to this day. I commissioned one of the relatively early. The serial number was OB68, so the 68th Old Boy guitar ever made, and I got it. And I got I decided to get the relic version, as close to Tony's as I could. Was kind of my request for it. And I got it, and it just almost felt like a piece of art. This is well before the channel was ever a thing or even a thought or anything. And, I just didn't play it much. The pickups were screaming hot. Wasn't really the vintage Iommi tone. It was more of the modern, like 80s and beyond, where he played that a lot more. And I just didn't. The neck was really thin. Just these things, like beautifully built guitar. The age to look like his, really cool. All the JD pickups but I had it for a while, for at least probably 4 or 5 years, and I never played it. Like I never even looked at it. It was like in the case, stored away, like signed by John Diggins, who passed away several years ago now, or at least a few years ago now. And I ended up, when I started the channel, it was around the time I started the channel, I wanted to get some gear to do demos with and pedals and stuff. And I was like, well, I don't play this. I could sell this. And it was even maybe before I called it Does It Doom, or it certainly didn't dawn at me at the time that would be like a holy grail guitar. You just think, well, I bought it once, I could buy it again and, wait 12 months and get it. But now JD, they aren't even taking guitar orders and haven't for a few years because they got so backlogged on custom builds. And then when John passed, it became even more difficult for them to fill the orders. So there's wait lists of 2 or 3 years. And now those guitars, there's one just like it. I'm not even kidding you on that. Just like the one I had built and sold. There's one on Reverb for $22,000 right now. And the guy had it at 28. I mean, I don't know if you'll ever get a buyer at $28,000, but there's been a handful of them that have sold for $10,000-$12,000 over the past few years. So that's my biggest regret was selling my early Old Boy, and I do have some pictures of it. But yeah, truth be told, I just never played it. And again, now it would be more fun to have for probably some content for the channel, and I probably appreciate it more now than I did back then. With everything that's happened. So strangely, I went looking for it, and the guy who bought it off me ended up passing away, and his niece or something inherited the gear, and she resold it. I'm sure it sold really quick, and so I didn't get a chance. But when I searched it up like a year or two ago, I was able to kind of track down a bit of the lineage and talk to the niece, and she was like, no, I sold it when he passed or whatever. So I don't know where it is. It's never popped up. But I'm sure I will. I'm in contact with the guys at JD, and I know when they take orders again, I will get one. So that's my big one that got away. I have a few others, but that's certainly the one I usually, when people ask me that question, that's where I go with that.
Yeah. It's a weird thing. I mean, like I said, I don't regret that Rickenbacker. The other one I regret is attainable, but it was such a unique, weird guitar that it's like, I don't know where it went. I saw the Reverb listing after it already sold, and it was just a 4 pickup Japanese cheap like Strat Mosrite thingy. Like it was. And it was weird and not great, but also great at the same time.
So you saw you saw the exact reverb listing.
I saw the exact
yours
one.
resold?
Yeah. Speaking of dings and stuff, I just recognized the wear patterns and stuff on it.
Yeah.
And I got it when I traded it as a partial trade for that Melody Maker. And I don't regret that. That guitar is amazing, but I regret just not. I was trying to be quote unquote responsible. It was well before any of this stuff was happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, do the 1 in, 1 out. Come on,
one in, one out. Yeah, sure.
Let's be reasonable
for a minute.
This is the guitar that broke that rule because it was like I got like $200 for it. You know, nothing really. Yeah. And immediately I was like, oh, I should really go buy that back. No, be responsible. And then by the time I was like, I'm buying it back, I'm going to the store, it was gone. And then I saw it on Reverb after it already sold, and I was like, it's gone. It's just not coming back. But you know, that's a relatively minor pain. You know, it's not like, oh no, I sold a 55 Les Paul when they were only $100.
Right. Yeah. No, I just saw recently one of my oldest, a guitar I bought in probably 2008. It was like a 2005 SG VOS, really nice SG. And I used it on the channel a ton and then sold it 5 years ago. It just popped up on Reverb a couple months back. I think it's still there. A really nice one. But my wife asked me, she's like, well, do you regret it? Do you want it back? I'm like, not really. You know, it was a cool guitar. I moved it for a reason. I got a ton of SGs. Like I don't need to go hunting back my old guitar that I sold.
Yeah,
it's kind of
not this.
But it's a cool
anyway.
guitar. I did post it and say like, hey, God, because people love that guitar. It was a really cool SG, but like almost it was so faded to natural, you know. But I have a picture where I took the pickguard off and it was bright red. In my old house, I had like left it on a rack that was kind of in the sun a lot, not thinking about it. And it just faded it big time on whatever they were using to simulate the, you know, that VOS finish was supposed to, I feel like almost supposed to age, and it certainly did. It's like, it's almost looks natural, but yeah. So old guitars, cool.
Old guitars equal cool.
Yes, no doubt. Always.
Yeah. So is there anything that you're on the hunt for these days? Anything you're like, oh, if I see a XYZ, I'm gonna grab it or try to.
You know,
try to
we're all looking for stuff. I went through this in October this year. I decided to have like a Danzig month and started like replaying and learning a bunch of old Danzig songs, which is from my youth. Really played a lot of that stuff when I was a kid and hadn't played it in years and years. And I was just like, October is Danzig month, and we're gonna play some Danzig and Sam Hain and maybe some Misfits. I don't think I played any Misfits, but that got me looking at old videos of like live footage of Danzig and John Christ, and I was like, man, I would love a bitch. When I was a kid, I had a Platinum Series bitch when I was, probably 16, and I ended up around when the Tony Iommi signature pickups came out. I couldn't afford a guitar, but I could afford to figure out how to get the pickup, and I put the pickup in the bitch. And but now I'm like, oh man, I would love to get a legit like 80s BC Rich bitch, like an early 80s or something. So I've been on the hunt a little bit, but those are very pricey as well. You know, those are kind of in the range we talked about where it gets uncomfortable to buy something, at least for me, without like selling some other stuff to be like, okay, I sold this stuff and now I can fund the purchase of this other very expensive guitar that I don't need.
Yeah. Yes.
How about you?
You need it.
You searching?
Yeah. I'm kind of, there's a handful of things like that orange was like not specifically the OR80, but in retrospect, that is kind of exactly what I was after. Yeah. That was a big one for me, but I do what I kind of call passive looking. Like there's people that like, I want this thing and I'm going to look for it until I find it. Yeah. I kind of have a passive list of stuff in the back of my head at all times. And if it shows up at one of my stores and I like that particular one, I'll go ahead and get it. I'm not as active with my hunts as I used to be.
Same.
And I think it's kind of more fun that way because you just let it come to you. You know?
Yeah, you got to be patient. I tell people to be patient, you know, because the more patient you are, the more likely you are to find one at a better price and to find exactly what you're after, you know, as opposed to just like deciding today I want this and I'm going to go find it in the next 2 days on Reverb and just buy one, you know. Wait it out.
Or maybe you find something that's like similar and you're like, oh, I didn't know about this one.
Sure.
And it's actually a little better for me in some, or so maybe somebody's modded it and it makes it extra cool and maybe more affordable for you. You never know what might show up.
Do you always try to play in person before you buy, or will you buy something straight off?
I've bought a handful. So I bought some from builders that like I trust. Yeah. That I obviously didn't play first.
Yeah.
I recently bought a Gibson WRC that I never played, mostly because I thought it was crazy. You know about those?
I'm not familiar. I'm trying to rack my brain to.
I'm gonna show it to you.
Yeah. Yes. Show me.
Yeah.
Show me, please. Oh wow! Look at that! Wow. Yeah. Not familiar.
No. So
What is that? When is that from? 80s? Doesn't look like an 80s guitar.
that is correct. It is an 80s guitar.
Is it?
It's an 87.
Okay.
WRC stands for Wayne Richard Charvel. So Gibson in the 80s did their signature series, and they did a lot of them with artists, but they did these with Wayne Charvel. He was not associated with Charvel, the guitar company at the time.
Yeah.
And it's very specifically laid out in the letter from Gibson that's in the case about how he is not associated with Charvel.
Oh, really? Huh.
And he designed this basically Charvel Super Shredder for Gibson. And I've been kind of looking for a Super Strat for a while, just because I'm always looking for things that fill gaps. You know, I don't necessarily buy the same thing over and over again.
Right.
And so I was like looking for a Super Strat, and I also really like Gibson. And then this showed up in my life because my co-host Richard on Chasing Tone informed me that they exist.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is so cool. It's such a weird piece of Gibson history, and it comes, with the square case, so people think it's going to be an Explorer or something.
Yeah.
That one I specifically looked for after I found out they existed, because I thought it was really weird. And just
I've certainly never even seen it. I've never come upon one. Which is shocking. Because I was going to say, as you were stepped away, I was like, is that an 80s? But I was like, maybe it's a 90s, because I don't know why I've never seen it before. But no, a late 80s. Pretty cool.
I'd never seen it before either. And yeah, it's got a Floyd Rose on it. I've never lived with a Floyd Rose before, and I'm having a lot of fun. I don't play that type of music at all, so I'm just playing what I would normally play on it. Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. But I did hunt that down specifically.
That's cool.
And
how long did you spend?
A half a day.
Okay, so it was like a quick okay, here we go. Are they expensive or cheap?
They're pretty affordable. I think I paid like $1,400 for this thing.
Yeah, not bad.
So I mean, affordable in guitar terms, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. That's where we try to price our guitars.
Yeah,
around that range.
Yeah, but it's a real deal, and this came with the the signed letter from Gibson, from Henry J back in the day, and it was in great shape. And I just kind of gave the guy an offer, and he was like, I did not expect him to accept it, and he accepted it, and I was like, oh. Looks like I'm buying a guitar.
Got it. Like, I was at least expecting a counter offer.
Yeah, he was like, sure. Okay. I mean, I don't think he played. Is if I remember our conversation, he had inherited it, and it was just he needed to get rid of it. So ouch, I understand. But that was the last specific hunt that I went on. Nice.
That's cool. That's a cool one though. That is a cool one.
Yeah, it fits me. I've learned I have a thing for weird Gibsons. Mm-hmm. I like the recording. I've got some, just off the wall stuff. I like
a weird one for sure.
The J160E, which is like one of the first electric acoustics ever made, and all they did was stick a P90 in the neck of an acoustic guitar, or the neck position of an acoustic guitar. It's got a volume and tone knob on the body. It looks like it was done like by some dude. No, it's a Gibson factory thing.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I like weird things like that.
Yeah, no problem with that.
Wow, I just realized what time it is. We've been going for a minute here.
We've been going.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about our food preferences and whatnot, so I've asked you the classic questions, but I still want to give you the chance to take the stage. You can shout out anybody you want to shout out. You can plug anything you want to plug. The floor is yours.
Yeah, like I said, we talked earlier about Woodwright Guitars. We're really trying to expand our dealer network. That's been something we've been focused on this year, and so fortunate to get hooked up with some great dealers across the U.S. here. We're in Vera Guitars in Charlotte. We Motor City Guitar up in Michigan, Motor City Guitars up in Michigan, and most recently the Music Zoo in New York, which has been an incredible partnership with how much they do for guitar content on the internet, showing off our guitars and whatnot. So we're looking to expand that. But if you're looking for a Woodwright guitar, looking to play one in person, you can check them out in any of those shops. You can obviously go to our website, woodwrightguitars.com, and we have all of the models available. We do a lot of pre-orders. And sometimes we have things in stock. Sometimes we're doing pre-orders. When we do pre-orders, we offer lefties and different finishes and all sorts of cool stuff. So, more signature models coming. We've got a lot of really exciting stuff coming in the next few years that we're really excited about. And then obviously on the pedal side, doesitdoom.com. We just restocked a bunch of pedals this week, and after selling everything out over the past couple weeks, and have some really new exciting pedals coming in the new year. So aside from that, you can always find us on all the social media platforms at Does It Doom, and I really appreciate it, Blake.
Yeah. Well, Steve, thanks for coming on and nerding out and filling in the story. I really appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right, everybody. For Steve, this is Blake. And as always, folks, good luck and good tones.
There you have it, folks. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you. Seriously, what a year 2025 was. There was some craziness, yes, but you guys helped me pull through, and I appreciate you. I really, really, truly do. Thank you for supporting this show. Thank you for checking out Tape Spaghetti and making that a way bigger success than I would have ever thought. Thank you. Thank you for checking that show out. It really means a lot. And if you haven't yet, well, you don't even have to go over to a different feed. Just jump back an episode. Yeah. Jump back an episode in your regular Tone Mob feed, and you can experience a Tape Spaghetti episode from last week when I took just a little break, which I don't normally do, but I needed it this time. I got ill over Christmas, and I thought, what better way to give myself a little extra time than to share something else that I'm really, really passionate about, which is that show. So if you haven't checked out Tape Spaghetti yet, that is an easy way to do it. And if you could give us a follow and a subscribe wherever you're checking this podcast out, that would mean the world. Also, make sure you check out all things Does It Doom at doesitdoom.com. The link for that is, of course, wherever the words are on whatever platform you are checking this out on. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you. Happy New Year. Let's make 2026 a heavy one. But like the good kind. You know what I mean.
One last thing before we totally sign off here. I just want to remind you that if you do any shopping at Stringjoy, that's Stringjoy guitar strings made in Nashville, that will help me out as well. As I've said for years, I'm heavily involved in that company, and I really do think they're making the best products on the market. So if you would like to try custom strings, go to tonemob.com/stringjoy and check them out today. I seriously love what the team down there is doing. I help them out with all kinds of things, and by you supporting them, you are also supporting me as well. And hey, you need some strings, so why not get some custom strings just for your guitar and playing style? Again, the link for that is tonemob.com/stringjoy, and that will take you right to their website, and you can do all your shopping through there, and that will help everyone involved out. So thank you very much. Talk to you next time. We are brought to you by the wonderful folks at Gun Street Wiring Shop. Yes, Gun Street Wiring Shop. I've talked about them before. I used to say based out of Bend, Oregon, but guess what? Sean moved to my neck of the woods. Sean's in Portland. Sean is awesome and has helped me with a bunch of stuff lately. And if you have wiring needs for your guitar, he can help you too. If you want to get weird with it, he can get weird. If you just need to spruce things up a little bit, there's your guy. He takes all the guesswork out of doing your guitar wiring, and he makes it simple, and his customer service is top-notch, and I can't say enough good things about Gun Street as a company. I really respect Sean and what he's all about, and the product is top-notch. I've got 3 different guitars that now have Gun Street harnesses in them, and I could not be happier. So go to gunstreetwiringshop.com and check them out.